gentlemen, on this very first episode of Season 2 of Wrestle Talk with BDuB. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Wrestle Talk with BDuB is back. And on today's episode, our very first episode of Season 2, we will be going over the Wrestling Observer's Top 50 WWE Wrestlers list. Now, I've put together the list in order of what they have, and we're going to compare and critique their list and see what we agree and see what we do not agree. So we welcome you to look at their list, give your opinion, and tune into the show. Let us know what you think about how we feel about the list. Get ready for a fun-filled, unscripted episode of Wrestle Talk with Bear and BDuB.
Next episode of Wrestle Talk with Bear and BDuB. I'm your host BDuB, and this is my co-host Bear. Now, on today's episode, we're going to talk about the top 50 WWE wrestlers. Now, this list is provided by the Wrestling Observer, which everybody knows. For those who don't know, is a credible source that really gives you the scoop of wrestling. They've been in the business for a long time. A lot of wrestlers have been fired for leaking information to this magazine or newspaper or whatever you want to call it. Now, they came up with a list. Now, we're not going to go through all 50 wrestlers. You can check it out on our Facebook page where we have the list. And we also would like your comments and what you think. On this list, the WWE signed for it, quote unquote. Vince McMahon signed off on this list. Now, I'm going to just give you the top 10. And then afterwards, we're going to kind of break it down, and we're going to hit at some crazy numbers. Number 10 was the Hot Rod, Roddy Piper, coming in. Number 10, top wrestler in WWE. Number 9, Rey Mysterio Jr. Number 8, former world champion, Andre the Giant. Number 7, never been a WWE champion, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Number 6, Harley Race. Number 5, the People's Champion, the Great One, the Brahma Bull, The Rock. Number 4, one of my favorites of all time, the Excellence of Execution, Bret the Hitman Hart. Number 3, the Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Number 2, coming out of Death Valley, The Undertaker. And number 1, one of Bear's favorite wrestlers. But you know what? For this list, I gotta do it. The Boy Toy, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. That you like that one? I mean, you thought I was just gonna be like, oh, Shawn Michaels.
No,
you know,
I didn't think that.
That was 2 shows
but
ago.
You could just hear how it bothered you that Bret wasn't up there. So
that was 2 shows ago. Check it out on YouTube if you missed it. So, let me mention one person who wasn't on the list. Now, since you said Bret, they didn't put Owen on the list.
Nope.
But you put Batista on the list.
Yep.
Batista over Killer Kowalski.
Yep.
I mean,
it makes you ask the question, can I have some of the weed you guys smoke? Because I don't understand how in the world Batista makes anybody's countdown. On how do you even say he's the greatest? He wrestled for 7 years.
2 or 3 title reigns.
Who in the blue hell did this guy put over?
You got a point.
Who in the blue hell? I don't remember him having any good definitive match. His best match to me was when he fought Great Khali in the Punjabi prison match. And it's such a shame that Undertaker had to lose to this guy.
It was, definitely.
Triple H put him over 3 times.
Nah, you know his best match in my opinion was against JBL at SummerSlam. But that was all JBL. JBL wasn't on the list.
JBL wasn't on the list.
And maybe he shouldn't have been. But if you're going to put Batista, you might as well. And JBL was the longest champion in recent memory. You know, a couple of our fans, longest champion. But, you know what? They didn't have Owen Hart on the list.
Can we move past Owen Hart?
I said that already?
Yeah, we know Owen Hart didn't make the list, and it's wrong that Owen Hart didn't make the list. But to the guys who came up with this list, I would like for y'all to sit and talk to me about this list. Like, us at Wrestle Talk, we want to talk to you. What the hell were you thinking when you made this list?
And you know what? You know who could have came up with a better list than this?
The Wrestling
Roundtable.
Yes, indeed. The Wrestling Roundtable could have came up with a better list than this.
Yeah.
I mean, the top 50 wrestlers.
Because they got so much more experience in wrestling and fan knowledge than Jericho and Big Show got titles.
Happy New Year's to y'all.
What's going on? Jason Natello, good guy, you know.
Who?
Jason Natello from the Wrestling Roundtable. He's a good guy. I don't know about the wrestling buffoons, you know, especially the dude. We ain't forgot about what he said to my little cousin, his little sister. But, you know, Jason was man to man to come to me and say, look, we don't want no beef. It's just, you know. But that's another story. Kurt Hennig before John Cena. Now, I'm the biggest Mr. Perfect fan. But and we know what I said about John Cena. I'm not the biggest fan, but I understand the business. And what John Cena did for the WWE in recent memory, especially in this PG era, he's the drawing card for children. You know, he has the highest Q scores, as I said in the previous show, more than Kurt Hennig. What did Mr. Perfect do in the WWE? Should he have been a world champion? Yeah, but it wasn't room for him to be a heavyweight champion. You know, he was a great wrestler overall in his days in the AWA. You know, but as far as being over Cena, I can't agree. Hulk Hogan, number 23. Are you serious? I mean, if you would have put Hogan at number 6, may have been a little bit disappointed, but I could have understood it.
I think Hogan should be number 50.
And in the WWE, are you serious?
In the WWE list, if I was to create my list, Hogan would be number 50.
You just don't like Hogan.
It ain't got nothing to do with whether I like him or not, but Hogan, when Hogan wrestled in the WWE, when did you see Hogan fight a match where he went over 30 minutes?
This ain't talking about wrestling, Bear.
What is this talking about?
It's talking about their wrestling. It's talking about their contributions to the business and the contributions to the WWE and how they made an impact on the WWE. Now, where in the world did Hulk Hogan deserve to be number 23? He has done.
So he would be higher.
Most definitely. I think Ray Charles would agree with me on that one. I would have him higher than Harley Race. To me, King Harley Race was better in the NWA.
Listen. This list is not giving a damn about contributions. It's not what you did for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. It's not about how many ice cream bars you can sell. It's not about none of that. Take a look at some of the men that's on this list. When was the last time you saw a Killer Kowalski lunchbox? Killer Kowalski was a good wrestler, good worker. And
so now you're agreeing with this?
And since you want to talk about contributions, Killer Kowalski's greatest contribution to wrestling was Triple H.
Okay.
But how in the world is Batista above this guy? I can see wrestlers such as The Undertaker, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Steve Austin, The Rock. I can see these guys being in the upper echelon of
Any
wrestling.
one of those guys could have been number one. I'd have been happy with it.
I think the number one wrestler of all time it's gotta be Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's gotta be. I've heard Vince McMahon sit there and say he was the greatest sports entertainer of all time.
Sports entertainer, yeah.
But see, the key thing about this that y'all not realizing, this isn't the top 50 sports entertainers of all time. The top 50 wrestlers of all time. Hogan deserves to be 23 or lower than 23.
So you're trying to say that The Rock was a better wrestler than Harley Race?
No.
Okay.
No, I will not say that. The Rock got where The Rock got on their list because he had good mic skills. He had good matches as well. But I think overall his mic skills is what got him higher. But Harley Race, 7 times NWA champion. Multiple times tag team champion. The first United States champion.
United States.
King of the ring.
Okay, thank you.
You know, he was the king when you just thought that was his gimmick. You know, but he was the king of wrestling. It's a shame.
I mean, all right. So you got Randy Orton before the very first Intercontinental Champion, Pat Patterson. Argument be made there.
It's the list. It's
Edge before
list.
Jerry the King Lawler.
Now I don't agree with that.
Okay.
Jerry Lawler's held more heavyweight titles than anybody.
We talk about what they did in the WWE. Because
Jerry Lawler has been behind the table most of his tenure.
Exactly.
But now, since you want to talk about what he did in WWE, let's talk about what Jerry Lawler did with WWE. Jerry Lawler took a very strong subject, and though he did it in a comedic way, he was able to relate the importance of not doing that. Look what he did with Jake the Snake Roberts when he was talking about the alcohol. And the things that was going on. Yes, he did it in a heel way, teasing and making fun of Jake Snake Roberts, but it also made you think about, hey, you know, I need to put this bottle down. Think about that. Jerry Lawler made people, and I mean, look, he just had a match with the Miz.
Yeah, but you know what? You say all that, and I'm saying if that's the case,
now Edge.
Yeah. You got the slide Ric Flair, the nature boy.
You do.
How high up?
If it was my list, he'd be number one.
We know that. We are obvious. That's a given. But I mean, and he was a world champion. Harley Race was never a WWE champion.
He didn't need to be. He was the king.
He didn't. You're right. Steamboat. Okay, number 7. But to me, it's just better. What they did in the WWE, it was better wrestling. It was better people. It was people who did better things in the WWE than what Steamboat did.
This list is. You know what we need to do? We need to do a show like this. You come up with your 50. I come up with my 50. We sit down. We talk about it, and we leave it up to the people.
I agree.
Matter of fact, to those of y'all that are watching this, you hearing it from Bear. You make your list. You put it out there for me to see. I'll read your list. I'll go back and forth with you too. You tell me your 50 greatest. You tell me your 50 greatest.
I'll give you my 50 greatest. Now you gotta remember, where are we coming from with this? Are we going 50?
No, I'm not talking sports entertainers. I'm not talking about how many titles you had. The greatest wrestlers.
Now, when you say wrestlers, are you talking about ticket sales? Are you talking about matches that go, because Hogan filled the seats.
Hogan didn't fill no seats. His opponents filled the seats.
Oh, come on now. Hogan filled those seats.
You think Hogan put them 93,000 people in the Silver Dome?
Hogan and Andre did it.
Andre did it.
How Andre do it?
Oh, because Hogan was selling out all over the world.
Okay, so
this is your biggest event.
Mm-hmm.
Hogan is your top player.
Right.
You need somebody to equal that. Why not put the man who was undefeated for 15 years?
So you don't think if you
managed by Bobby Heenan,
you don't think
rips the crucifix off of him, eats all his ice cream bars.
So you don't think if you would have put Macho Man, who was a great heel at that, they would have did 93,000 that year?
No.
So now you're trying to say the guy who had the top WrestleMania match for the first 3 years of WrestleMania.
No, I don't think he could have done it. The perfect opponent for him at that time was Ricky Steamboat. Okay. Hogan could not go in a match for as long as Ricky Steamboat and Randy Savage fought with Hogan. He couldn't do it.
Okay.
Couldn't do it. I mean, what? Him and Andre fought for what? 10 minutes? I think that match was like 12 minutes and some change.
Another person, how in the world do you got the Ayatollah of rock and roller down to number 25, the only man to beat Stone Cold Steve Austin and the People's Champion of Rock in one night?
That's overrated.
What?
That's overrated.
Why is it overrated?
I mean, how long are you Jericho Hulks gonna keep saying that? I mean, it's obvious you a Jericho Hulk.
Oh, yes.
The guy walks past you in Walmart somewhere, nice shirt, and you've been hooked there since. I mean, come on.
Why are you hating?
I'm not hating.
Why are you
Jericho, he seems like I've never met him personally.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know how he is. I've heard about him fighting people and stuff like that, but I don't know how the guy is. But you know, Jericho, he was listed number 25. I think that's a good number.
I would say top 20.
Now, if this was the list like how we did, you know, in season 1 about the Intercontinental champions, sure, number 1. But heavyweight titles, I see.
But this ain't talking about heavyweight titles. This is maybe, you know what? That's what I want to do. You Wrestling Observer writers out there, I want to know the what was the strategy behind this list? What were you thinking? Because
I agree with you.
We have different variations on how we would make our list. Yeah. We got, you know, like you said, if you talk about top sports entertainers, I mean, if you're going to say sports entertainer, you got to say Hogan Rock. You know, like they said, that's the comparison of Tyson and Ali. Ruth versus Bonds.
No, what? You can't even say Hogan and Rock is top. Oh, man, are you serious?
And then back in 02 it was.
Man, Hogan and Rock feud was about as important to me and a lot of wrestling fans out there as Rey Mysterio fighting Juventud.
That was a good feud. The WCW
version. Sting Flair's feud was better than Hogan Rock.
No, it wasn't. See, Sting and Flair feud was a Lifetime feud. That was there, you know. But Hogan and Rock was your mom and my mom watching wrestling in their, you know, their 30s and 30s, and us versus us watching wrestling in our teenage and 20s. The two forces coming together, something you never thought you would see. That's like you got Hogan, I mean, like I said, Tyson and Ali. Our parents grew up watching Ali, we grew up watching Tyson.
I understand it from that perspective.
You know, let's go basketball. You got Jordan versus Kobe. Wait, Jordan versus Kobe. So that's what that's like. Yes, I said it, and I'll say it again. Kobe is better than Jordan. Everybody, but that's another subject. So that's what Hogan versus Rock was. It wasn't about having a long feud or trying to be the best feud in wrestling. It was simply like you passing on the show to your son.
All right, so let me ask you this then. Wait, are you smoking the same thing those guys are smoking?
I don't smoke.
Oh, okay. Because you talk about Hogan, you talk about your Rock. That's fine. You can say let's go back to WrestleMania 19 and Safeco Field.
Okay.
Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho.
The same scenario.
Now, was that match not better than Hogan and Rock?
Oh, I mean, it was. I ain't gonna sit up here and say it wasn't. I'm not talking about the match. That match wasn't. The match was something that you was just watching. Like, the feud was great. The build up was great. But then the match was just like, okay, good match. Great to see you guys fight. Don't want to see you fight again. Shawn Michaels and Jericho. Hey, we want to see a rematch. You know. But now, as much as you say Stone Cold, I'm going to say something what people wouldn't expect me to say, and still say I would have Shawn Michaels as number one. And that's because...
You think Shawn Michaels, out of all those people, is number one out of the 50?
Yeah, I really do. And I'm not... You know what? I'm saying it's a professional opinion, not a personal opinion. And because what he did in the WWE, Shawn Michaels... I mean, and really, you could make it that close to The Undertaker. But Shawn Michaels was there in the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s. You know.
It's your opinion. I'm shocked to hear that you say Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he was there all along the way. He didn't help put over people. You know, he done sold out arenas. And he had great matches. And, you know, he had some of the best matches.
I'm going to tell you mine. And, you know... Y'all may not agree with it, you may not agree with it, but I feel as though it's the truth. My number one, wrestler of all time is the Bastion Booger. Alright, it's the Brooklyn Brawl.
Hey, now, he could have been on the list as the biggest, what was they calling people?
Jobbers?
Jobbers in WWE history.
No, let me stop playing. How can you have a number one?
You can go back to that.
Because if you take a look at this list and you sit here and you say, okay, Shawn Michaels is, like you said, he's number one. He's had good matches. He's did this. You could give an argument that he was probably responsible for the whole Attitude Era. Sure, I've seen Shawn Michaels in sucky matches.
I ain't even gonna say you. Who hasn't?
I've seen Undertaker. All these world title reigns. 140,000 and over at WrestleMania. All this stuff here. He's done all this great stuff. But I've seen him in sucky matches.
There's a time when he didn't even hold the title for longer than a month until 2007.
His longest reign before he beat Sid was 3 days?
Yeah.
So what I don't think you can make a list until you define what this list is. What are you talking about sports entertainers? Are you talking about heavyweight champions? Are you talking about athleticism? Are you talking about pure talent? Because if you're talking about pure talent in the ring, Rick Rude should be on that list.
Oh, certainly, without a doubt. I mean,
Rick Rude.
Look what he did. You know,
Sting isn't on that list.
That's why they said WWE. But still, you can still put.
They got WCW guys on there.
No, their contributions in the WWE, and that's the reason why I can't see Harley Race in there. I can't see Kurt Hennig before Cena. But you know what? They came out with the DVD to this, and remind me, text me tomorrow to pick it up.
As a matter of fact,
because I want to sit down. I want us to sit down and watch this together, like we did the top world title.
We will.
We're gonna sit down and watch this together.
As a matter of fact, I encourage everybody out there watching us, go get that DVD before you make your list. If you have a couple dollars left over from the holidays, you go get that DVD. You watch it. And you watch it, then make your list.
You know what else I want to
I want to talk. Hold on. I want to also talk to the Wrestling Observer. I want to know what was their thesis? What were they going with this list? Mm-hmm. Is it disputable? Yes. If that's what they were trying to get at, great. You did a good job. Everybody's buzzing about this list. But I also want to know the format that they went on, because whatever they smoking, woo.
Yeah, and I want to encourage you guys to pick up season 1, and you can hit us up on Facebook and Twitter, and our email address listed at the bottom of your screen. That is bearandbdub@gmail.com. I want to encourage you to pick up season 1. Just hit us up, let us know which episodes you want, and we'll give you a price. Sounds good to you. But another one before Kurt Angle, before Buddy Rogers. Buddy Rogers, the first WWE champion, or was it? Bruno Sammartino, the guy who owned Madison Square Garden, where WWE was the heart and soul, where New York was the heart and soul of the WWE, wasn't even high on this list. He don't even. What you think about him not wanting to go in the Hall of Fame?
What do I think about him not wanting? I mean, it seems like it's a personal decision. Mm-hmm. He don't want to go in the Hall of Fame. Matter of fact, since we are talking about the Hall of Fame, I want to offer my sincerest congratulations to Arn Anderson going into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
that he deserves it.
Oh, sir,
he deserves it.
I
was always saddened that he didn't get higher up on the cards as far as titles. Mm-hmm. I never really saw him as a heavyweight champion, but I saw him as a U.S. champion.
He was never a U.S. champion?
Never.
Wow. He was on television.
Yeah, television.
He was He was, to me, growing up. When I think of the television title, I think of Arn Anderson.
Yeah, I think of him and Tully and Steve.
Well, by the time I came along, they were pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, be able to understand it at least.
Yeah, but I'm really happy for Arn Anderson. He's getting it.
Yeah, he could have been on the list. The Brain Busters.
Yeah.
But you know what though? I didn't know he was a producer of Raw.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's still around. He's hanging around.
Oh, I know, but I didn't know he was the producer. And that was something I did in my research.
But as far as Bruno, Bruno should have been in the Hall of Fame when they first started it.
Yeah.
Whatever him and Vince got going. Now, I have heard that, they've offered to put him in, but...
Well, honestly, I think what I have in Vince will probably...
He'll induct him, but he won't be there.
Yeah.
That's
or when, he passes on.
Hopefully it won't take that long.
I wish they wouldn't do that, but...
Bruno killed the guy in the ring.
Yeah.
Dropped him right on his big head. Bruno killed the guy in the ring. I don't know. It's just one of those things where you got this problem with this guy, Warrior will never get in there.
Yeah.
I cannot see Warrior accepting a Hall of Fame plaque and him coming out there. Was he going to run?
No, good old Jim Ledwig. I tell you that Jim Ledwig.
Well, I cannot. How's he going to give his speech? Is he going to talk about the One Warrior Nation?
Just imagine him in a suit with no face paint, and they hit that music.
I mean, this guy has been from parts unknown his whole career.
I mean, the only way he gonna come out is if he come out like WrestleMania 7.
No, but all jokes aside, the real reason why, and I might be wrong for this, the real reason why I don't see Warrior going into Hall of Fame is because Warrior isn't human. You cannot humanize his character.
Yeah.
Think about it. I mean, like I said, this guy's been from parts unknown. He didn't want people to know that he was from Cleveland.
I gotta do it. I'm sorry, but I gotta do it. This might cost us some ratings, but dang on Cleveland, the Ultimate Warrior don't want to claim you.
Oh man.
The Jacksons left Ohio. Oh, that was Indiana. I'm sorry, but and LeBron James.
Wow.
LeBron James left Cleveland.
Remember, this is BDuB saying this. Not bad.
No, but think about it though. Like, poor city.
But yeah, he did.
The Browns left him and came here and won a championship. Something they never did in Cleveland.
He did not want people. I think it was Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio.
Yo, what is wrong with that city?
Man, can we get back talking about what we talking about here? Because I know a lot of good people up in Ohio, so
I just want to know.
Things will get better before they get worse.
It wasn't Cleveland's fault. It wasn't Cleveland's fault. It was Devin.
Cleveland got a lot of things they can be proud of because they got Drew Carey.
He's the host of Price is Right.
Well, see, there you
go. But it was the point guard's fault.
But the Ultimate Warrior, he can't humanize himself. He can't live his gimmick down. He changed his name to Warrior. What's his son name? Warrior Jr.?
Wait, hold on. Now, tell me you did not just say that he legally
changed his name to Warrior.
No, but there's something with athletes. I mean, do they got that much money in the world? You got Chad Ochocinco just changed his name to Ochocinco. Lou Alcindor changed his name to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I believe that was for religious reasons or something. But then you got the Ultimate Warrior. Jim Ledley changed his name to Warrior. So it's just Warrior, not Jim Warrior?
No, it's not Jim Warrior. It's not Warrior Jim. It's just... Man, look, man. He's just somebody that I don't see in Hall of Fame. I don't see... There's a couple people I don't see in Hall of Fame. I don't see Kamala in the Hall of Fame.
Shout out to James Kamala Harris, a friend of his on Facebook. James, we'd like to get you on the show. He said he don't see you in the Hall of Fame. I'm going to have the right to remain silent.
But getting back to what I originally said, I'm happy for Arn Anderson. And I'm really looking forward. Now, I tell you what, if they put Goldberg in the Hall of Fame, I'm turning it off right there. I'm turning it off, that bald head.
But you know what, though? You got to.
No, you don't. If you do it because he's from Georgia, then yeah.
But, I mean, at the same time, that was something that's never done before.
What?
No, it wasn't.
Put him in there because it's in his hometown?
No,
if that's the case, go ahead and put Goldberg in there because he's from Georgia. But while you at it, put Buff Bagwell in there too because he's from Marietta, Georgia. Put Brad Armstrong in there.
Well, actually, I would put Buff Bagwell in before I put Goldberg in. I'm buff and I'm still the stuff. No, but seriously though. I mean, I don't know, but because who? All right. So who did what Goldberg did before Goldberg did what Goldberg did?
Undefeated?
Yeah.
They built him up as the first undefeated guy, though.
I know, but that's the reason why I came to the Wrestling Encyclopedia, because I knew you would know.
Well, it depends if you're talking about WWF. The Undertaker did it.
An undefeated champion. Okay. And who else? Somebody did it in NWA. I just can't, or... No,
ain't nobody doing it in NWA.
So that's why you gotta do it then.
No, ain't nobody. I don't. But look at who he was fighting. He was fighting guys named Glacier.
Glacier had a kick on him. That was Sub-Zero.
I mean, he didn't really start. By the time he really got a first piece of talent to go against, it was Scott Hall.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, at the same
I thought Raven was good, but you knew Raven won the belt just to drop it to him. They didn't want him to fight DDP. But
what belt?
The U.S. thing.
Okay.
The first time he got it, he beat Raven for it.
Yeah.
So, but again, they know who they want to put in there. So, but all in all, Arn Anderson deserves to be in Hall of Fame.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining us on this episode of Wrestle Talk with Bear and BDuB. I can't wait till Raw. I can't wait till wrestling this upcoming week. I want to see what your reactions are going to be. And, we'll get to what we talk about and some highlights, reactions, and things we settle down on as far as we get prepared for this upcoming Royal Rumble. But be sure to tune in to an upcoming show in which we will give you some of the top 10 best Royal Rumble winners. What you think about that?
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to just go on a limb and say John Morrison, Royal Rumble winner this year.
I'm going to say Randy Orton.
I hope not. He already won it.
I'm going to say Randy Orton. Randy Orton's going to do it again.
And that's what I was thinking about. I want to,
I'll tell you who will not win it.
Who?
Dolph Ziggler.
I'll tell you who won't win it. The Miz.
The Miz is going to be main event at WrestleMania.
Wait, Orton is not going to win the Royal Rumble. Unless he loses the title match and then comes back out and gets in the ring. Because remember, he won the number one contender match Monday night.
Yeah, but that's at the Royal Rumble.
that title match.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. He's not going to win the Royal Rumble.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see. Like, you never know.
You
never
right.
know. You never know. You never know. So.
But join us, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us on this episode in season 2 of Wrestle Talk with Bear and BDuB. This is the Wrestling Encyclopedia Bear. I am the host with the most, the toast of the coast, BDuB.
And remember, the pleasure was all yours.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Join us on our next show.